Welcome back to the Dinar Chronicle. Tonight, our desks are buzzing as we zero in on a major moment unfolding in real time. Markets are whispering, and in some places shouting, that tomorrow, July 16, 2025, could mark a pivotal point for two currencies grabbing international attention: the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong. If you're watching right now, prepare for what may be one of the most closely watched developments of the year. We're monitoring every tick, every signal, and every insider move. This is not theoretical analysis, it feels like live action. Across Iraq, financial institutions have been quietly prepping trading books and alerting their risk desks. Traders in Baghdad, Erbil, and Dubai are already uneasy, bracing for a potential revaluation event, or RV, as the jargon goes. Today, chatter on currency forums and banking backchannels suggests that memos have circulated inside major regional banks, hinting at momentous FX adjustments. In Vietnam, a similar narrative is playing out. Sources are quietly talking about a 48-hour exchange window set to open tomorrow, complete with updated exchange rates and refreshed redemption center protocols. Dinar Chronicles, +2. Dinar Chronicles, +2. Dinar Chronicles, +2. Let's be clear, this could be huge. For holders of VND and IQD, tomorrow may feel like peak anticipation. But what's fueling this sense of urgency? In Vietnam, earlier this spring leaked banking memos and simulation reports triggered speculation that the State Bank of Vietnam is readying a revaluation for the dong. Dinar Chronicles. Meanwhile, in Iraq, analysts are pointing to internal signals at the Central Bank of Iraq, possibly coordinating with the Vietnamese authorities in a synchronized move. The dynamic is reminiscent of a coordinated pivot, not isolated events in two separate economies. Global banks appear to be taking this seriously. Back in May, there were reports that a major U.S. bank suddenly went silent when bankers asked about Vietnamese currency pricing, a move some interpret as a sign they were preparing for a fresh valuation structure. Iraq Business News, +6. Dinar Chronicles, +6. Iraq Business News, +6. That kind of hush from a Western institution is unusual and suggests behind-the-scenes contingency planning. Of course, there is a need for deep context. Historically, currency revaluations are large structural shifts. They often coincide with IMF programs, economic reforms, or a desire to signal macro stability. Both Iraq and Vietnam are engaged with the IMF on broader economic strategies. In Iraq's case, structural funds and banking system reforms are ongoing. In Vietnam's case, upgraded financial infrastructure and banking modernization efforts have been quietly progressing. Dinar Chronicles. A revaluation would certainly align with those trajectories. Market data ahead of tomorrow's event is signaling elevated volatility. Overnight trading shows rising spreads in IQD/USD, and VND forward curves are steeper than normal. Typically, traders shy away from price gaps ahead of anticipated central bank moves, but now liquidity is tightening and stop-loss clusters are forming in both currency books. That's textbook preparation for breakout risk. Currency conversion platforms, like the ones you can access online, are showing modest movement in cross rates, one IQD trading around 19.9 VND, but that's tiny breath in comparison to the possible tidal wave of a formal announcement. Exchange rates, +1. Exchange rate guru, +1. We may be looking at an opening to re-anchor rates more dramatically, perhaps to fixed bands or newly defined market pricing. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Currency speculation carries baggage, especially with the Iraqi dinar. The dinar has earned a reputation over the years among retail investors as the purported next high-return RV, often driven by rumors and scams. Reddit, +1. yen.wikipedia.org, +1. It's critical to stress that much of the retail hype has outpaced any real institutional alignment. Yet what we're seeing now, synchronized central bank chatter, IMF interplay, and global bank positioning, echoes nothing like the memes of past dinar pumpers. What's fueling tonight's urgency is institutional, not just grassroots. That's not to say risk is gone. Principles at Iraq Business News point to persistent hurdles: dollarization, parallel market premiums, smuggling, and political gridlock could still derail an IQD RV. Iraq Business News. +1. Iraq Business News. +1. Vietnam, 2, faces internal challenges. Exchange rate policy, capital controls, and currency reserves all play a role. In other words, even if tomorrow marks an official move, markets may react sharply or fade soon after. Yet the convergence in timing is striking. Some observers suspect both central banks exchanged assurances on sequencing, perhaps coordinating announcements to dampen speculation and manage exposure. The question is, will tomorrow bring a quietly executed DOJ-style float, a limited swap window, or a public rate shift headline? And will it deliver immediate market impact or be gently absorbed into planner commentary? If there is a coordinated RV, expect two major parts. First, a revised fixed or managed float rate, almost certainly above current levels. Second, a structured redemption or exchange window targeting institutional holders, laying groundwork for broader investor access. That's standard for revaluations. Give banks and primary dealers access first, then open the cycle. For Vietnam, that could mean new bank windows at updated rates. For Iraq, it may mean revised central bank pricing and updated Forex floors. Traders are already pricing tight around tomorrow's slots. Some technicals to note. Look for benchmark 1-month forwards widening for VND, reflecting anticipated volatility or yield shifts. Same for IQD, where forward curves may invert. On the spot side, we may see early price fireworks followed by central bank intervention to smooth the curve. If successful, this could be the highest profile RV since Kuwait pegged its currency 2 decades ago. Alert systems are triggered. Bloomberg FX desks, Thomson Reuters alerts, and regional treasury desks are monitoring. Mobile push notifications will clear the news feed first tomorrow very early. Social channels will light up. Stay ready because this isn't lagging commentary, it's leading ignition. For those with actual positions or structural exposure, risk management will be mission critical. Hedging via forwards or options ahead of tomorrow's move could limit downside. For speculators hoping for large gaps, liquidity may be thin and slippage high. The next 24 hours will be high conviction. Choose your exposure carefully. From a geopolitical lens, there's added intrigue. Iraq continues to increase ties with regional economic blocs, especially in oil and infrastructure pipelines, meaning a preemptive RX might support currency credibility. Vietnam, on the other hand, is under IMF reforms aimed at international integration. Coordinating a value adjustment could elevate both nations' profiles in global finance. Importantly, we cannot ignore US dollar dynamics. The Fed's ongoing stance, Jay Powell's potential commentary, and upcoming US PMI and CPI data could overshadow or amplify regional moves. If the dollar rallies, forward momentum behind the IQD and VND revaluation could be muted. Conversely, if the dollar softens, these central banks may breathe easier. Tomorrow morning, keep a close eye on statements from the Central Bank of Iraq and the State Bank of Vietnam. Watch for circulars to primary dealers, changes to pricing bulletin formats, or new swap line notices. And if you're monitoring currency platforms, note whether rates are pre-adjusted before market open. That's when you know this is real. As of tonight, the word in trading circles is palpable tension. Whether it's constructive coordination or speculative mania, tomorrow will tell. If this unfolds smoothly, we could be witnessing a rare, synchronized emerging market move. But if either bank falters or delays, the narrative may deflate as quickly as it rose. So here's the bottom line. July 16, 2025, feels like a milestone. Either we get a globally recognized, institutionally supported pivot, or we see a coordinated whisper that fizzles under regulatory or operational friction. Either outcome will tell us more about the resilience of these currencies and the credibility of what has long been labeled speculation. We'll be live from 0:01 Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow morning. Breaking announcements, full-rate publications, and first-tick market reactions will be streamed. If you're holding IQD or VND, contact your bank or custodian now and understand the potential window. This is one of those rare moments where preparation meets opportunity.